All right, welcome in DFS first take for the Cognizant Classic or whatever's left of that event. Mass withdrawals this morning, which we will absolutely talk about. But first, how's it going? How's the weather? Shout out to all of our friends on the East Coast that may be struggling with some adverse weather conditions at the moment. I hope you're like enjoying some of the benefits of maybe not having to go to the office, but also not compromised too much by the negatives of what that also might entail and all these potential road closures and stuff. How is it in Texas right now?
It's fine. I mean, I don't know, anywhere from 65 to 80 every other day. So it comes and goes. It's not, I mean, it's not exactly living in California, but there are a lot of times of the year where you and I kind of are like, best of luck to everybody else, but we are exiting from that.
Yeah, well,
So
we pay the most taxes here, so the weather gods better cooperate, which they didn't
exactly.
really for Riviera. Of course, the week after Riviera, it's back to 85 degrees and sunny every day, um, which would have certainly produced drier conditions than what we had last week at Rev. But let's go over it because, again, like a lot of things right, a lot of things wrong, a couple crucial errors, had a really good pool, but the two misses were insanely costly misses. Like I play 20 guys every week. I had two of them miss the cut, which is kind of what you're hoping for. Like in a regular tournament, I hope for getting 15 out of 20 through the cut. I know if I get 15 out of 20 through the cut, and it's the five guys that miss are generally like below 8K, I'm going to have some 6 of 6s. I'm going to have a shot. So 18 of 20, I was very happy, even in a limited cut. That's generally a good pool. But the two guys that missed were maybe my two favorite plays on the slate.
They were two
so,
of my favorite plays too.
so, so yeah, I had a 50% 6 of 6 rate and I had a very positive week in the $10 18 max, but I lost all my money in the single entries because both Jason Day and Maverick McNeely, which were also in our single entry, missed the cut. Day was just a mess. Like he's not that good all the time. Like he's a volatile player. Some positives on approach. He was terrible on approach at Pebble Beach. Like that I could have seen coming. I was always going to play Mav McNeely, and he is a gutless fucking piece of shit because he missed the cut in yeah, we'll talk about that, T-Dac. He missed the cut in like horrific fashion. Like he three putted from 9 feet on 13. It was just ugly all around. But how did your week end up at Riviera? And yes, we will talk about the DK stuff in a second here.
More withdrawals in one way this morning. We'll put it that way. But
Yeah, absolutely.
um, for me, honestly, as much of a howler as Mav and Jason Day were for you, I got a lot else just wrong at the eleventh
Got her up.
hour. Yeah, got her up.
Got
I
her up.
mean,
I told you guys I thought he was a little bit out of steam.
I think you're right
I
on
think
that
he's
one.
gonna I think he's gonna be fine. But
Yeah, no, he'll be a fine long term player, but
yeah,
the cooler may have happened. But honestly, with that, like
that's
um,
funny, Devin.
with that, yeah, the pool was bad. I did silly things like play Russell Henley, but I mean, it happens. I got him at 3%. I'd probably do that. I'd sign for that next time and just
He
kind of
was
move
very
on.
low owned. I hated it
Exactly.
on that
Yeah.
golf course, but
Hey,
he was
listen.
very
Yeah,
low
I
owned.
get it. Like
Yeah.
leverage or whatever, right? That's what we play for. No, in all honesty, like there were some things. I mean, by the way, you buried the lead. You get to take all our scalps for Rory over Scotty.
Yeah.
You were the
I
only
was
one.
right on that one.
You were the only one
Yeah.
on that, and so you buried the lead on that. That was a great call by you, man. I mean, It's interesting though, like the way you could have built last week, and we'll get to this in a second, but the way you could have built last week to win a tournament was like it's really interesting. It's probably the most interesting week I've ever seen, just kind of like looking through a couple winners in one of the contests I played, honestly. One of which was our member, and we'll maybe go over his lineup first. But
Let's do that now. Let's put a
yeah,
let's talk all the Riviera stuff now, put a bow on
yeah,
all of that, and then talk about the DK stuff that happened this morning once we get into the Honda.
definitely.
Yeah, I was pretty anti-Scotty last week, and I really thought he should have missed the cut, to be honest with
Yeah,
you. I thought he took a pretty scummy drop on, I want to say 15. He did not hit his irons well at all. He made the cut on the number, and I know he played well over the weekend and almost finished top 10, but I felt like it was Rory all the way based on that price and the golf course. And again, I think I can only partially be pumped about the reasoning for why I played Rory over Scotty, because yes, there were golf course reasons. Like the golf course was very soft. It was a bomber's paradise. Rory still hits the ball 20 yards longer than Scotty, although I have some questions about how low he's flighting the ball with the driver. And
that was
everyone was like,
weird.
yeah, everyone was like acting like, I know Devin's in the chat. He's smarter about the golf swing than I am, but like that would be sick if they were playing LACC or like a
Yeah,
firm or like Royal Melbourne. I was like confused as to why he was trying to flight the ball so low when the fairways are so soft.
didn't
Um,
make sense to me
yeah,
either.
it's like perfect launch conditions for Rory based on the way the golf course was playing from a softness standpoint. That was like the whole reason why I loved him so much. The thing I was going to say, the reason why I think I can only like partially be happy with the reasoning for Scotty over for Rory over Scotty is my big reason was like when you have a cut, there's going to be a lot of the guys that miss the cut are going to be the guys that are like the guys that you have to play in Scotty lineups, guys in the 6K range, all that stuff, right? And that was true. Like the vast majority of the guys that missed the cut were the lower price guys in the 6K range. We knew that was going to happen. There also was a lot more guys below 7.5 that finished top 20 that could have made Scotty lineups work. Now, Rory was the play all the way. 20 out of the top 25 lineups in the lotto started Rory. So, like, could you have won with Scotty? Yes. You were most likely losing to a Rory lineup that was leaving more salary. But I have to like take accountability for the fact that even banging the drum for how soft and easy of a Riviera it was going to be, it was still way more of a putting contest than I ever thought. And like, I was like distance and around the green play around it was distance and putting. Like
Yeah,
around the green play was really not that important. I'm pretty sure Bridgman barely gained around the greens. It was distance putter all the way. And that allowed some guys that I think mainly like in the distance thing, like
I
Penge
know
and
where you're
Pot
going.
guy. Well, just
I
like
know. Yeah,
and like we were on it with Stevens. Like I love Stevens, but like Penge and Pot Guider, that like the difficulty of Riviera around the greens, mainly because when you have like really firm greens there, if you short side yourself, it's just really hard to get the ball up and down at a consistent rate. You're just gonna have like a lot of 6-footers. That challenge that you would expect like to derail a guy like Potgieter just was not there at all this week. And like a probably sharper analysis of the golf course earlier, it's ballsy to be like Riviera is going to play a stroke and a half easier than it has ever played,
yeah.
even though I'm in LA and knew how soft it was. But like those like Pot Guider in that form and Penge in that form, being able to just nuke the ball off the tee and also gain 5-6 strokes putting, that is not usually
No,
attainable at Riviera. And I have been saying about Riviera for many years is way more like Torrey Pines than you think. It's way more distance heavy, open off the tee. But even that, like those guys in Scotty lineups would have really worked, you know, and so there were guys in the 6K range that nuked.
Absolutely. Let's talk about one of them that we haven't mentioned yet. Jacob Bridgman, congratulations.
I was nowhere near it.
No,
so, like,
no, I said on the show, I'm not touching him with a 10-foot pole. So
I'm really curious as to why. I know why I thought it, but I thought that Rio's run, like what Rio was doing, was more sustainable than what Bridgman was doing. And that was a miscalculation. Rio made the cut at least, but like also both of them, I would love to get on here and tell you that Bridgman was an easy ownership fade at 15%, and I projected him highly. Rio was like almost just as highly owned as Bridgman.
He was, and I think we'll get to the lineups in a second because I think this is super interesting to talk about because not only do I agree with you that Rory was the play, but I think going forward, like this kind of makes me think, and I know it's one slate, but you are really limited in terms of how many of these players at certain salaries, because he's still going to be priced very high. Scotty, I mean, you're still limited to how many of those you can choose from and choose correctly. And I think these three lineups that I brought, we'll go over them quickly, but I think that they illustrate that. I have one that started with Scotty, that was second place in the 18. The winner was a Rory start, and third place was a Fleetwood start. So they're all different builds that all use Bridgman, interestingly, I think.
But yeah, and to be honest with you, the Bridgman mess was everything because I keep track of my pools every single week, and Pebble and Riviera are two good comparison points because, like, you know, similar fields, whatever. My pool at Riviera was way better than my pool at Pebble Beach overall. Like at Riviera, I had 11 out of my 20 guys finish top 25, 5 guys finished in the top 10, 2 guys finished top 5, Rory Core, Kitayama T2. Whereas at Pebble Beach, I had 9 out of 20 top 25, still 5 in the top 10. But only half of my guys were better than field average at Pebble Beach. And I had my best week of the season at Pebble Beach and still a fine week at Riviera. But the difference between Pebble Beach and Riviera was like, I had a lot of Colin, and at Riviera, I had no Bridgman. And Bridgman was 15 to 20% in some of the contests that I played. So what I was doing was, it's not only that you didn't play the winner, it's that the winner was highly owned and often in a lot of Rory lineups, right? Like Rory was pretty highly owned. It wasn't that I got some like sneaky smash Rory guy and other guys weren't on Rory. And if you didn't play Rory, then you probably played Bridgman with Scotty. And it's not like Scotty played bad enough to kill you, or you played Bridgman with high owned Tommy. And so it's like, it's interesting because when a guy who wins is high owned and you don't have him, it doesn't matter how good your pool is. It's just very, very hard. And you can make a ton of mistakes in your pool, but if you nail a single digits Morikawa, you can end up having your best week of the season. Like, it's a tricky game. I could talk about it all day, but it was just interesting to me. But when Bridgman wins at 15%, if you don't have him, it's very hard. It's very, I did as good as I could have too. Yeah. I did literally as good as I could have done.
Yep.
Without having Bridgman, but your upside is still pretty limited without him if he's 15%.
Yeah, and I think that's kind of the point too. Like, you can come on here and you can say, I like Rio, I think Rio's underpriced. Well, you know, you can look at that and say, all right, Jacob Bridgman's underpriced. You know, one or the other. You choose one of those two paths, right? And I think there's some people that were saying this morning, they're like, well, he was really cheap, or they were saying yesterday, like, he was really cheap, you know, but I didn't want to play him at the ownership. And I think like the lineups that we show are going to show kind of a unique way. One of them actually had Rio and Bridgman together. That's a way they did it. Josh, do you have those?
Yeah, put up the winning lineups because I know we had a member that
He did. He had third
in the 18
18.
max. Yeah. I mean, that's the crucial error on Bridgman versus Rio right there. You look at this lineup, is he on the left or the right? I'm gonna
So
assume
mine are on the left. He's on the right,
okay. So
and
he
so all
had
the winners are going to be on the right here.
is this the one that won the contest or the one that
So this
finished
is
third?
this is the Scotty one. This
Yeah.
is second place.
Oh my God, dude. He played Scotty with Tommy. See,
Yes.
that's
So look
that's
at
what I'm
what he
saying
did.
is there were enough like so that's why it's like I can only partially pat myself on the back for the Scotty take because you did have a situation this year at Riviera where it actually played even so much more softer than I would have expected that so many of these scummy guys in the 6K range had an avenue to playing well and not just playing well, contending
Four
in
of
the
them.
sense of Potgieter. Potgieter was in contention on the back nine, or he finished solo fifth. Playing Tommy with Scotty, I gotta say, I never would have done. I
I
never
don't
would
think I
have
would have
done.
done it either because
Ballsy.
it's four 6Ks. So this is another way of illustrating to say when you're going up against Rory and Rory smashes, or you're going up against Tommy and he smashes, this is what you have to beat. You have to beat those lineups with something like this. And so, hey, look, Potgieter, obviously you needed him if you wanted to. Like Potgieter's like a had to have it if you had Scotty, but like not necessarily
Or
elsewhere.
Fox,
Or
who was
Fox. Yeah,
also who was
Fox was
also
great too.
who was also highly owned. Yeah, I played
Yes.
Fox and Kitayama, but Potts and Bridge were better than Fox, and that combo of Potts and Bridge were a little better than Potts and Kitayama. And Tom Kim, I was nowhere near either. I mean, he finished
Yeah.
T24 or whatever.
Yeah.
Rishi liked him, but
unique Bridgman lineup. Bridgman's chalky. Okay, what do? You use you go super aggressive with Scotty. And I don't like this one as much as
but
the other two,
Potts
frankly.
in
But
that contest was 1%.
yes, no, he's 1%.
That was
Or he's less than 1%.
it was a really ballsy click. And I gotta
Yes.
say, with Potts early, like
Yeah.
he has a lot of variance and a lot of volatility, and he's either going to miss the cut by a lot. But as soon as like I saw it on Friday when it started to play easier, I was like, oh, this is setting up so perfectly for Potts. Like this isn't like the golf course that he's playing on Saturday and Sunday is like not a lot different than Detroit Golf Club in the softness of the greens. Like it's
when it
just,
turns into Rocket Mortgage, man.
yeah,
Like
it's
that's your
just,
guy.
yeah. And so the
So this
one
is
on
the
the right
winner.
is the winner.
The winner.
And
I think this one's really interesting too.
Potts is in that too. I would have looked at that lineup and been like, damn, dude, you want to play 15% Bridgman and 15% Rio in the same lineup?
And Jake Knapp and Fleetwood and Rory. So what did you do?
Jake Knapp was mega chalk.
So
and I love Knapp, but
yeah, you have 5 chalk pieces here. How do you get away with it? No
Potts.
8Ks, no 9Ks, and Potts. But no
Potts.
8Ks, no 9Ks. So and Potts. Yeah. So
the answer to everything this
exactly
Riviera.
Well,
Potts and Bridgman.
You think so? Our last one is going to be our member Walter. Congrats, Walter! Great hit. He did not have Potgieter in there, and this is something that I think we could have actually looked at ourselves and landed on, or at least I would have felt like I could have gotten here. And I think his build is probably my favorite of the 3.
All right, let's see.
So this is something I think an ISN member. I mean, he did come up with it, but I think this is.
This looks way more like an ISN
exactly.
And I didn't even like Straka, but that looks way more like Kitayama Rager. That was an ISN play true. And then Fleetwood, Adam Scott, Xander, Bridgman.
That's a good one because there's no 8s in that lineup at all. So he used Bridgman as his last in, but what did he do? He pivoted off of Harris English to Adam Scott. He played Straka. I mean, it's good. I think this lineup's fantastic. I mean, obviously, I love Kitayama. That was one of the only things I got right this week. But I mean, all of this to say, you could have played Bridgman in a lot of different ways if you liked him. I didn't like him, so I wasn't going to get there. But I think it's interesting to look at these to see 3 different lineups at the top of a contest, which is decent size. and they all have different structures completely, not even close to one another.
Yeah, Scott over Harris English was
That was the nuts, and I didn't do it.
kicking myself for that one. Shout out Dave.
Yeah,
Good stuff, man.
yeah. So
Okay, so I got to be honest, like I missed a lot of this morning. It just
so did I.
kind of came at the time when I was like driving on the 405 and I can only do too much texting and looking at my phone during that and rush hour traffic without causing a major pileup. So I like was just kind of catching it in my group chats and not in the Discord to give people an update, because I think there's some people that want to talk about this and potentially capitalize. And I know people in our Discord capitalized on it immediately. Big endorsement for our Discord in the sense that, like, if you want to find out information very quickly, that is the place to be because it's just so big with so many smart people. And I know Saul hit on it. Like, I would need to go back and look to recall
It's
all the
dozens
members
and
in our
dozens.
Discord that hit on it, but certainly paying for their IS10 subscription for the next 50
Decade
years.
plus. Oh, yeah.
But essentially what happened was DK had a glitch where every golfer was minus 10,000 to win the tournament. So essentially
Yes.
what you could have done is you could have taken the guys at the entire bottom of the odds board, like Brendan Todd and Justin Hastings, and bet whatever you want, $1 on them, $5 on them. And then when you have $5 on a guy at minus 10,000 odds to win the tournament, in some cases you're getting a $20,000 cash out in the same way that if you had the ability to cash out on a guy that was leading by 5 strokes with 1 hole to play, you would get the ability to cash out for $20,000 or whatever is the most, you understand what I'm,
For
where I'm
sure. Oh,
going with that.
absolutely. Yeah.
And I don't know what the repercussions are in terms of like somebody's got to get fired for this. I know they're, are they $1 billion company, DraftKings? I know their stock's been all over the place, but it's not a small slip because they probably are over. You had to bet them prior to the glitch. So essentially, what happened was that's a good call, Jeffer and 8, who I think got it. Was one of the people that capitalized on it. You had to, so if you put like $5 down on, I don't know, someone huge, Brendan Todd. Yeah, Brendan Todd. And then their odds changed to 10,000, then you just fucking cash out.
Yeah.
I think they lost 7 figures today, Devin. I think so.
Probably.
I know they may have lost 7 figures from our Discord people alone. Like, and there are probably plenty other people in other Discords that did the exact same thing.
I'm sure. I mean, I was in the middle of some stuff too.
Do you blame it on like the snowstorm? Like, do you think like
no? I think what they
because I know a lot of people lost power and stuff like that, and like I know a lot of people on the East Coast are like struggling with it. I don't.
What if they pulled the odds and then when they have a default where they defaulted back to minus 10,000 when they repost with all the WDs? That was my first thought. I forgot about the storms. Honestly, that was my first thought.
That had to be it. That's probably a more likely explanation. Is that like the withdrawals threw people off, and I was still able. I mean, I was able to capitalize, not in a way that these people were, but like once the withdrawals. First of all, Pendrith withdrew last night,
yesterday,
and
right?
Pendrith was on their odds board, as well as Jacob Bridgman and Ben Griffin this morning at like 11 a.m. Pacific time.
Yeah.
Or excuse me, 11 a.m. Eastern time. So I was able to get Gerard 27-1.
Same. That was what I was excited about this morning.
I was like, that's great.
I'll take that. I won.
I'll take that every day. But I mean, it's just like, it's been a theme of this podcast and my content. I talk about it every week. Like DraftKings and FanDuel are like really not doing good bookmaking right now. And they've punted on, You know, they've punted on FanDuel's totally punted on setting their own odds. They basically just go to whatever the data golf odds
Yeah,
are.
right. Yeah.
And you can always get a lot better numbers on Bet Online and Bookmaker. That's why I always wait till Bookmaker numbers are out. And that's why our new odds board at ISN is super, super valuable. You're right. Shout out Tyler. If you're watching on YouTube, we're showing it on the screen right now. But we've now added pretty much every single book to that, including Bookmaker and Bet Online. And Tyler updates this all the time, like 20 times a day.
No, this is one of the best new tools that we have. It's
maybe the best. It's unbelievable. Yeah. I mean, it's unbelievable for number shopping, for tracking line movement, for understanding like what's a good move, what's a bad move on certain books. The other part of the discussion that I miss is like, did people get locked out of their DraftKings accounts after this happened? Because I think that happened to a couple people too. But once, if you withdrew, like if the money, this is
money now, I think.
Well, yeah, I mean, like they from like an ethical baking standpoint, they can't reverse it. But if you withdrew and the money hit your bank account, then there's nothing DraftKings can do in that scenario. Right. They can disable your account if they want to be a massive asshole. But
I've heard negative balances is what I have heard. So they'll just put a negative balance on you if you try to go back into deposit. I don't know if that's true though. I think a lot of like, I don't know.
It's one of those situations where, again, I don't know, even if it was a 7-figure loss, it's not like DraftKings is going underwater because of this. Like some guy's getting fired and that's probably the end of it. Like DraftKings is going to be fine. Their numbers do suck this week now. And even outside of this glitch, it was retarded to have Taylor Pendrith on the odds board this morning. Like that was just stupid. Like he's 25-1 and he withdrew last night.
If they thought about this too, like they could have waited on DFS pricing. We'll get to it, but they could have waited on DFS pricing.
That was also ridiculous. And I know Kenny was talking about in their Discord too. It's like
they can't change it for some reason. There's some, I don't know what it is. There's some, I don't know.
Why would you release DraftKings pricing this early? By the way, if you were paying attention, really we talked about this in the Discord last night. Bridgman was asked if he's playing the Cognizant in his post-round interview, and he was like, "I don't know, we'll see." And it's like,
I didn't know that.
Yeah, like he just got into like everything. He just got into
his life
everything.
Changed yesterday. He got it like, no, I'm not going to go play Honda.
Yeah, I don't even know if he lives in Florida. He did finish second there. It would have been a great course fit for him. But anyway, I mean, shout out to all the people that took advantage of that. That's serious money. Like even if you just made like a casual $20,000 this like off that glitch, like that's fucking
a lotto ticket.
Yeah.
Keep it going. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the COG. All these withdrawals. Let's build a DraftKings lineup. Let's get a 6-6 this week.
Is your enthusiasm dampened at all? Let's start.
No, there. I'm pretty optimistic.
Yeah, I was
pretty optimistic because the rough is going to be thicker this year, and they haven't been getting as much rain. Let me check on the weather report again. We're going to have Rishi on site for us all week.
This week.
Yeah, Rishi's going to tell everybody who's striping it in practice rounds because we know how valuable that information is.
Absolutely.
So we have a lot of people in the Discord in the area. A lot of people that are around there. They haven't gotten a lot of rain. Steve's updated the weather report in the Discord. That's the best thing you can do is look at Steve's weather in our course report section. But it's going to be drier than last year, which had a ton of rain. I think until the weekend, they're going to get a little bit of rain. And yeah, so here we go. Look, this is already coming in. I was driving again this afternoon, so I missed this. Rishi already sent some pictures of the rough. Looked like it wasn't going to pose a threat to a high school qualifying round. So
Ugh.
maybe the rough isn't going to be a huge problem. On the
Yeah,
GCSA sheet, it is a half inch
3,
thicker
right?
than last year, that's a lot. The difference between 2.5 and 3 is a lot. Like that's the difference between our API rough and the rough that we typically see at this place. But who knows? That's why it's a good week to have Rishi
Oh,
there and confirm
yeah.
some stuff for us.
And if you got, I mean, shameless plug, if you guys have not joined, honestly, like I go in there, I am losing money still by being in that Discord because I don't forget to check Rishi's tennis stuff.
Oh
Like,
yeah, it's insane.
seriously.
I don't
But
even
anyways,
know. Yeah,
yeah, no,
I don't even know
no,
what else I can say about it. Like
yeah.
I'm just running out of
Join
adjectives.
yesterday. You
Yeah,
won't
I don't
regret
want to
it at
sound
all.
like a broken record. Just like
Yeah,
tell his tennis stuff and it'll pay for your subscription in like
in a week
a
or two.
week. Yeah.
Not a joke.
We also have French
Um,
Open and Indian Wells coming up.
absolutely,
Anyway,
absolutely. We will be there.
so let's talk about the slate. Are Shane Lowry and Ryan Gerard just going to have astronomical ownership now? Like they're playing the best in the field. They're
Hmm.
cheap. Um, they have great course history.
Yeah.
How do you not like each of them are over 30%? Let's start there. And that's probably too conservative. Each of them are probably over 35%, if I had to guess.
Yeah. Um, I'm a little puzzled where people are going to go this week. I mean, I'll tell you where I started. One of the first names I wrote down this week was just the Hoygaard brothers. I wrote both of them down.
Yeah.
And I don't know how unique it would be to start with one of those two. I bet Nikolai this morning, and then I bet the
Yeah. I
Gerard
like
number. So
Nico.
I don't know if I'm really all that psyched about Gerard or top price Shane Lowry. I mean, if I had to pick probably like in a vacuum my favorite 9K guy, it probably is Gerard, like based on his recent form and everything like that. I mean, there's places to go in the lower nines as well.
I think
But
Dave's
those are my
right. Just
general thoughts.
from a math standpoint, there's not enough guys in the
I
9K that
think so
every
too.
single person in the 9K range is going to be giga chalk. So I
I
think
think so.
honestly, there's going to be degrees to it. Like
Yeah.
I think that Ryan Gerard is going to be double, if not triple, the ownership of RMP. But
Yes.
you're gonna either want to leave a lot of salary on the table or find ways to get different. I personally think that you should play one of Gerard and Lowry. We're back to a 120 man field. There's going to be a lot of ways to get different. Um, who do you prefer between Gerard and Lowry? Is it Gerard?
Probably. Yeah.
I think
I think so.
probably me too. T
Yeah.
Stack says the least owned will be Lowry. Least owned between Gerard and Lowry. I agree with you. I don't know about.
Yeah.
I think he might be second highest owned on the slate.
I'd
Just
put
because
lowest in the nines probably RNP just because of name.
for
That's a
sure.
pretty heavy price
And then I
tag.
kind of talked about how um I talked about this on the Sunday pod. I don't mind Brooks this week.
I
Um
could see that
I
too.
don't know if he needs to go in this lineup. I wouldn't say he's like one of my 6 favorite plays in the slate that needs to go in this lineup, but I don't know. I mean, would
Not a
you
bad
rather
spot.
would you rather play would you rather start your lineup with both the Hoygaards than take a chance on Gerard or Lowry?
What do you think of the Hoygaards this week?
I like them. I like Nico more than Rasmus.
Nico's
Nico,
going in then.
Nico will obviously be higher owned than Rasmus, but I think we put Nico in. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Um, I mean,
He's amazing at the French Open. I think they both are.
there you go. Yeah, Le Golf
Yeah.
National. He is the 4th highest data golf value play on the slate.
Love that.
Unfortunately, data golf is on to our guy Johnny Kiefer this week as well.
I don't care. I
John
love Keeper.
Kiefer's like 33 to 1. I think we got to keep playing him though.
Yeah.
Of course.
Who do you like in the low nines? Keith, right?
Yeah. I like Keith,
Yeah.
but I don't know if we need to put him in this lineup.
Okay.
Let's just stick Nico in
We
as
can
a
move down. I'm
definite
good.
and go down and come back to it.
Okay.
I can make the case for Keith. I can make and like we may end up wanting to play Gerard based on how weird we want to get. Who are your favorites in the eights?
My two favorites in the eights are going to be Bezadenhout and Haotong. I think it's a great bounce back spot for Haotong.
I like
I'm open
both.
to anybody though.
Yeah, I like both of those guys. I do like Bez quite a bit. I was going to throw out, yeah, I agree with you, Walker Bueller's day off. I was going to throw out McGreevy and Smalley and Meisner.
Okay.
McGreevy.
Ooh, yeah, Meisner I had written down too.
Like yeah, so maybe we put Meisner in. I got to say, I really like McGreevy this week. If you look at McGreevy, like he's been a player that's been playing very well for a while now. Like if you go back to the fall swing, he finished T2 at the RSM, had him that week. Also at Valimaki. Who I also like this week. But Valimaki didn't withdraw, did he?
No. Not that unless it's in the last half hour.
No, I don't think he withdrew. So he's just like a really, really good iron player. Really, really good from 150 to 200 yards, and he has a 4th place finish at this event last year. So I'm really a huge fan of McGreevy. Meisner checks a lot of similar boxes. He hasn't been playing quite as well as McGreevy on approach, but he's not far off. He's another guy that drives the ball well, 150 to 200 yards, very, very solid from that range, and doesn't have the course history, but like this is a good golf course for Meisner. Right. You think of him as like at a TPC Southwind, a Valspar, a Honda Classic. It's a really good spot for him based on the way that he hits his irons, his middle irons. He's in the 80th percentile from 150 to 200 yards. Pretty decent driver of the ball as well, coming off a 18th at the Phoenix Open. I like both those guys.
I wrote down Valspar. I didn't look at that yet, and I kind of like that now that you said it. I know it's not perfect, but it's a long iron, like long.
Yeah, 28th, and 26th in 2 appearances at the Valspar. Also is a 14th at the 3M Open.
I'm good with McGreevy for sure. Like McGreevy.
Do you like McGreevy or Smalley better?
McGreevy.
Okay, we can circle back on Smalley because I also like Smalley
fine too. I mean, I think that this could turn into a pretty interesting build, but we should keep going because I think like Kiefer's definitely in. Like,
okay, we're putting Kiefer in. We're just sending it. Sure. I don't think we're helping with his ownership. I mean, now he's high up on Data Golf's value play. We obviously are never going to stop playing him.
Never.
He's hitting the ball amazingly well. Obviously, he just has the disadvantage of like not playing these golf courses yet, but this is not a golf course where I'm very high on course history whatsoever. So yeah, I think put Kiefer in, and then who else do you like in the 7s?
So I like Sammy.
Okay, me too.
One of my other favorite names down here was Jordan L. Smith. If you like,
sure,
if you look at his irons,
I'm interested.
Yeah, check him out. I did write down John Perry. I think this is kind of a good course for somebody like him.
I like him as well.
Chris Kirk, you could give a look to.
I like Kirk.
Doug Gim, great. Like, could do that. I mean, the 7s are pretty wide open for a bunch of Euros that are good. Tom Kim just treated people well. He's starting to play a little better. He's probably not going to be 7,400 for long. I wrote down a lot here that I like, and you could even go all the way down to Hodges, Cole. I haven't really decided. The ones I know I'm playing are Jordan L. Smith, Kiefer, and I'm definitely playing Sammy. Yeah. Those are the ones that I know I'm playing.
Yeah. I have Smith circled. I think that's a good call. A couple other guys I would add, like I really like Jaeger this week.
What caught your eye on him?
Let me pull it up.
Sorry, I don't mean to put you on the spot.
No, it's good. Bad sign that I can't name it off the top of my head. Well, he's 96 and around the green percentile, which is more predictive at this golf course than you would think. He has a 5th at the Farmers, recently. So this
Okay.
season, he's gone miscut 5th, 28th, 67th. The 67th was at Pebble, which
It's
not a
not.
good golf course for Stefan Jaeger at all. But if you go back, also a much better field. But if you go back a week, he's gone 5th at the Farmers and 28th in Phoenix. Putter and short game's been very good. Irons looked a lot better again in at Torrey. So and I just like low miss fairway penalty. I think you could
Yeah.
even make the argument that with how narrow these fairways are, the fact that the rough may be a little bit thicker is potentially even going to help the distance advantage because
Yeah.
the driving
Ball
accuracy
stopping.
is under the driving accuracy percentage is under 60% here anyway, with how narrow the fairways are. And I think it's a bit of a, I get it, David. I just don't think it's like these guys just like don't hit in the water here unless it's windy. Just like doesn't happen as much as you'd think. Another thing I'd mention is the water, like the serious water is more on approach than
Right.
with the driver, particularly like with the bear trap. Like those are very difficult par threes surrounded by water. Driving accuracy here is like not something that's been super, super predictive. It's a very low miss fairway penalty. And I thought the miss fairway penalty is going to increase this year. That's at least what it says it is on the GSCAA sheet. Will be good to get Rishi's thoughts throughout the week. He literally lives on the golf course, but whether the rough plays thicker or not, like it's a distance over accuracy course for me. I think that's a misnomer. Like with the water off the tee, there's a lot of room. Brian Kirshner just played this course too. I was like,
Oh
and
yeah.
Brian as like a 14 handicap, I was like, is it intimidating off the tee? And he's like, no, it's not intimidating off the tee at all.
Nice. That's great.
So yeah, Jaeger I like, but I wouldn't like, I don't need to put him in. Svensson was a guy that really, really popped for me. Jesper Svensson at 7K. Data Golf likes him as well. I bet him at 90-1.
I got him at 115, I think.
Oh, great bet. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
asleep at the wheel this morning. Eckroat, Wallace, Ryder. Stop me if any of these sound good to
Matt
you.
I'm a sicko. I kind of wrote down Matt Wallace, and I don't know why. Well,
Kevin Yu, shout out RK.
Kevin Yu.
Garrick Higo, who I watched at Riv because he was playing with Fitz and looked horrendous.
Yeah.
I can't take him seriously the way he dresses, but he was playing in the Fitz group, and I think he finished DFL at Riv, but he's been good here. It's a much worse field. Nico Etch, Tom Kim, you mentioned. I like Gary Woodland this week.
I wish Gary was playing better. Gary would be like core for me if he was playing any better. He's not.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sadly. I think for us, you can like if you want to go back and put in
who do we circle around? Who's the most
Smalley is one we could put back in, or McGreevy. No, we have McGreevy in there. Smalley, Meisner, McGreevy. We could put one of those in and just go super balanced. And I think you won't have to worry about like keeper ownership or anything like that.
What if we put in Meisner and Smalley? Because it seems like we have more. RK loves it after we mentioned Kevin Yu.
Yeah.
I love Kevin Yu this week. Maybe he goes in the lineup. I don't know. How much money do we have?
You could, and you could leave money. You could leave money like at the end there because like now we have 9K. You could do Brooks. Like you could do, I don't know.
What about Berger? Doesn't seem like you're super interested in.
Well, he's on my do not fly list for a while, but that's fine for this. He really, what was it, Pebble? Yeah, Pebble was when we like.
He's a motherfucker. Yeah, he's a motherfucker.
But this is a place to play a guy like that, so I think that's fine. Like,
can I ask though? Like, is nobody going to play the 6K range just because it's so easy to do this?
Kind of get the feeling, and there's a few that I don't hate.
Who are the guys you like in the 6K range?
So Dave's boy Marty Dew.
Love it.
Flusher.
Yeah.
EVR is 6,600.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
ADDC I like. Dylan Wu I
ADD.
like.
You could do either one of those. Dylan Wu's good. I'm gonna completely butcher this name. Yelamaraju. Sudarsan Yelamaraju. He might be somebody to look at. I might give him a look. See our guy Adam
We're not
Hadwin's
playing
back.
Pavone, Devin. Not
He live
happening.
resident. He does live on the course.
Does he really?
He does. Funny story. And then, so I went to this tournament last year. I didn't get a chance to meet Rishi, but I went to this tournament last year, and I saw a bunch of people with French like flags following people. I was like, he must be following Victor Perez. And I look up and it's Pavon, and I'm like, that guy.
One of the funniest messages in our Discord history was when Devin goes referring to Stick. That asshole told me Pavon was chipping it well at the Valero or something like that. Like Devin's just like, hey, Stick, can you check on Matthew Pavone at the Valero Texas Open? And of course, fraudulent Stick, who's either in his living room or at Disneyland with his fake children, is like, yeah, Devin, like Pavone's sick around the green.
And I do remember at the time that post probably had the most. It still probably has the most reactions.
That piece of shit lied to me.
There's no way, yeah. Pavone. And he's so serious too. He's so like, it hurt his feelings, and I'm like, man, it hurt my feelings too.
No, I wasn't in the Discord this morning. I was texting Devin a little bit about something else, but I missed some of the stuff in the Discord this morning.
Honestly, like, I'm gonna go through more. You said some more names that are. I mean, talk about a buy spot on anyone. Clanton 66. I didn't expect to see that.
Yeah, I know. I have him circled too. He's just like so terrible right now.
He's so bad.
Honestly, if I asked you between ADDC and Marty Dew, because I think it's interesting to play a guy in the 6K range. If you take out Kevin Yu, then you could play ADDC or Marty Dew and probably have room for either Keith Mitchell or the other Højgaard.
That's a pretty good lineup, honestly. Like, yeah, take you out, and like Marty he's flushing. Like, I don't know for how long.
You like Marty? You like Marty over ADDC? I think I agree.
Yeah, let's do it just on the iron numbers. Marty do Zicheng do.
Yeah, Zicheng do. Josh.
Sorry, I'm gonna Z. Yeah, there you go. And then yeah, Keith Mitchell. There you go.
Okay. I mean, I really like Keith Mitchell, but you're allowed to be like, dude, what are you doing?
I would.
You like him too?
No, I think he's a great DraftKings play. We haven't talked about Thor. I kind of like Thor, but
more than Keith.
Flip a coin. I mean, I think they're at the current moment. If I played the nines, I'd play everybody from 95 to 92 right now. That's probably what I would.
I mean, this is just a fascinating lineup. I mean, it's Nikolai, Kiefer, McGreevy, Smalley, Dew, Keith Mitchell.
Yeah,
really interesting. Again, like, really interesting way to look at the slate this week.
I think so too. Like, you could take out. If you wanted to play Brooks, you could take out Mitchell. That would be lower owned, and then you could get up to like Bezadenhout from Smalley. That's another thing you could do.
I think for better or worse, I trust Keith Mitchell more than Brooks, but I have some interest in both.
I'm just saying, look at this as, oh, I like these four. Take these, like, if you're a player, like, use this as a shell or whatever, and like make it your own. Like, there's a lot of ways to go off of something like this, but you know, this is just your first look. This is what Monday is for.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
As penance for putting the wrong player in our lineup last week, I will cover it again this week.
That's just not true. I was adamant about Matt McNeely. I really appreciate you saying that. That's why you're a great friend.
I swapped Stevens for McCarthy, so it was me.
Yeah, but that didn't matter. We wouldn't.
It didn't matter. That's all right.
It wouldn't have cashed. Yeah, Stevens. I was all over, but it didn't matter because the mistake was Mav and Day.
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, I'll put it in this week. Just send me a
All right.
screenshot of it.
Yeah, I got you.
Do you watch any movies this week?
did
No other
watch
choice. No other choices on streaming.
I know, and I have it, and I've ordered
Yeah.
it, and I have 2 tasks this week.
Yeah.
I'm catching up with Industry before the finale so we can talk about it next Monday.
It's just
Completely.
batshit. Everybody's just fucking each other at this
I
point.
can't wait. I'm 2 episodes in and I can't
Rishi
wait.
started it and he was like,
Yeah.
this show's fucking insane. I'm like,
It's incredible.
dude,
It's a
just
great
wait.
show.
Season 1 is the most tame. Josh, did you watch the episode last night? Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did.
I'm not gonna lie, it was very like finance heavy. Like it was very more procedural. Natalie fell asleep. She was like,
Classic.
no. She's gonna be mad at me for saying this, and I understand like 50% of the finance stuff.
Yeah.
Not that you need to in this show, but she was like, wait, like, what's an audit? And I was like, you could have asked me that like 7 episodes ago.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty fundamental. Like half
3
the season
years ago.
Yeah, half the season they're talking about how you know, the big thing with tender is like either they're going to submit to an audit or not.
Yeah.
But without spoiling, Brian, this is the way I would describe episode 7. It was a big bridge episode. Like I think what it's doing is setting up an absurd finale. Like 6 laid the seeds, 7 got you from point A to point B. And then I think the finale is going to be insane because Yasmin's dad is coming back for it. Thought he fucking drowned. Eric is coming back for it. I guess he like didn't ride off into the sunset. Yeah, it's going to be batshit crazy. And then I don't know if I think they're going to do a season 5. So it's not a series finale.
Yeah, I think HBO does TV better than everybody else in terms of episodic television as it was meant to be done 25 years ago. Yeah, where like I don't know. I will do this week, but it's like, man, sometimes you like that week in between.
Industry was one of HBO's least watched shows in season 1 ever.
Insane. Yeah.
And like midway through season 3, they were like, this is on caliber with like The Sopranos and The Wire and Game of Thrones. And they started like marketing the shit out of it. And now everybody's talking about it. You guys don't watch Tell Me Lies, do you? It's kind of a chick show. Josh, you're single.
No,
right?
I don't.
You wouldn't watch Tell Me Lies unless
you said it was crazy though.
Show's fucking nuts. That show's batshit fucking crazy.
Really?
Me and Bill Simmons are maybe the only dudes that watch it. That's just
Dave watched it?
Dave, you watch Tell Me Lies? That show's fucking nuts.
Tell Me Lies. Okay.
Yeah, just check it out. Like it's fun. You know, you have 3 seasons. It's over. It's over now.
Oh, okay.
They have the series finale. It's a girlfriend show. It's a show to watch with your girlfriend that you're like, oh, this is so lame. Like, I don't really care. And then secretly you're like, fuck, this is really good. It's one of those.
I see some tweets on like Twitter about this show.
Oh yeah. It's a phenomenon for like girls.
But my Twitter's all just
industry.
Like I can't. It's like it's no more like golf.
My Twitter's all industry. I get a lot of Oscar stuff too. I get a lot of Timothée Chalamet stuff because I'm always keeping up with Club Chalamet because you're never going to see me again if he loses Best Actor.
I'm not scared.
Yeah, Steven's fucking insane. Just wait, Dave, till what Steven does at the end. Just fucking wait, man.
One movie I'll say, and I didn't catch this last year because it wasn't in theaters here. I saw Splitsville.
Heard it's good.
I mean, so
very good.
I gushed over it because it's like a movie that I don't know. The guy's like a pretty newish director. I can't wait to see what he does next. The shots that he did, like technically, are incredible for what should be like a rom-com dramedy thing. It's fantastic. I loved it.
I was just taking a screenshot of that Devin Dave exchange. Dave, do you have a lady? What do you think? I love we love how like you can't take yourself too seriously and you have to be self-deprecating, and
Absolutely.
Dave gets it. Dave gets it in that sense. So yeah. I saw Is This Thing On? I thought it was fine.
Yeah.
I like didn't understand that, like, so the point of the movie is like you could publicly humiliate your wife and disparage her, and that's going to turn her on and make her come back to you. Like, I just found that a little weird. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but like, how come after she's on a date with Peyton Manning and she watches her ex-husband, who all throughout the movie you're meant to believe she despises, absolutely eviscerate her in a random New York comedy club, she's like, that's fucking hot? Like, what?
I still
make any sense to me.
I still cannot believe Peyton Manning. Like, I don't know. The guy's great on Monday, but man, like romantic lead, like that was so weird.
Kind of took me out of the movie. All right. Well, that'll do it for us at the Cog. Shout out Marty Dow. Hope he has a good week. Things like McGreevy, hope that works out well for us.
Yeah.
But we'll certainly be sweating it all week in the Discord, and certainly have the most up-to-date course information that you could certainly imagine. A lot of Palm Beach guys in that Discord. So InsideSportsNetwork.com. Thank you as always, Josh and Brian, and we'll see you next week for API.
See ya.